Hi everybody, it's Lady Sidonia, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about a question that I've always wanted to answer myself, and I believe I have. I found my spiritual peace, and I have my candles lit and my incense burning so I can make sure that I stay in the right frame of mind, and it's really brought me a lot of peace. And the one thing that I tell everybody is that it's not about what religion you are. It's never about what religion you are. It's that you truly understand the spiritual aspect of your religion. I firmly believe that there's no way that you can get everything that you need to get out of a religion if you don't address your spirituality first. We're brought up to be in our religion. We're taught our religion. We're taught how we should think and taught about the things we should and shouldn't do. And, it doesn't leave room for us to make our own opinion. It doesn't leave room for us to have our own true experiences. They're all, in my opinion, fabrications of what once was. And, I personally, I was in the church my entire life. And, I've had many experiences, good, bad, indifferent, and I just never felt fulfilled. I felt that I knew I had a lot of knowledge and I knew a lot about what I was supposed to believe and what I was supposed to do, but I had no peace, if you want to just put it plainly. I didn't have any peace. I didn't feel like I was doing what my life purpose was. I didn't feel like I was being healed or delivered or whatever you want to call it in your particular religion. I just didn't feel like I was getting the help that I needed. And it was the place that I had trusted, and it didn't help me. It made me worse. You know what I mean? So the question that I asked many pastors, imams or imams, I can't remember how it's pronounced, but I've asked many spiritual leaders the same question, and none of them could really give me a real answer, because what happens is when I ask them this question, they automatically go on a religious defense. So that question is, what do you do when God or church or religion isn't enough? And I immediately stopped them and I say, don't tell me to pray. Don't tell me to have faith. These are all things that I already had. What do you do when that's not enough? What do you do when you fasted and you've prayed and you went to consecration service and you went to you've done everything. You go to church every week. You go to Jomar every week. Not Jomar, Juma, I'm sorry, every week. What do you do when it's just not enough and you still find yourself depressed, weak, sick, restless, unable to think clearly, unable to make a decision, scared, fearful? What happens when you still have all those things and you've fasted and you've prayed and you've done all the things that your book tells you to do and your pastor tells you to do and your spiritual leader tells you to do? What happens when that's not enough? I found myself in this predicament around 6 years ago, and it furthered me on my spiritual journey. The one thing that I can tell everybody is never give up on your spiritual journey. No matter how many religions that you have to sift through, no matter how many, it doesn't matter. Everything is possible. And you need to be able to keep an open mind, because if you don't, if you get hell bent on what you were brought up in, you will seriously hinder what could be your blessings later on. And I found that coming from a Christian background really hindered me from being open-minded to other philosophies. So I immediately just became a rebel, and I wouldn't allow anybody to just tell me anything. I always was on the search for somebody who was just going to be real with me. Somebody who's going to say, you know what, sometimes you're just going to feel like shit. You know what I mean? It's really just that simple, and you have to learn how to deal with that. But the one thing that I want to help everybody with is being able to truly find their spiritual path. And one of the things that you're going to have to do is you're literally going to have to leave behind the religion that you were taught in. That's the first step. Okay? Leave the religion that you are in. It doesn't mean that you're not going to come back. But what it means is you need to have a clear slate and a clean mind. Like, you really cannot be muddled in what you were taught. You know, none of us were made a decision to be in the religion that we're in. I mean, unless you're an adult, but I'm talking about like when you grew up in your religion, you didn't make that choice. It was forced upon you by your parents or whoever, you know, raised you. It was forced upon you, and you've made decisions and you've built beliefs around that. You didn't make beliefs built around what you truly believe. And a lot of us don't even know what it is that we believe, because we've been so force fed that we honestly believe that what we do and what we see and what we have faith in is what we believe. Again, I am not here to bash any religion. I believe that all religions have the same message. I believe that all religions are based in compassion, and if we can all get to that point and realize that, then, you know, this world would be a lot better. So I'm not here to bash any religions. What I'm here is for you to make the best out of what religion you do follow, and being able to have that be a safe haven for you. Because a lot of times it's not a safe haven. A lot of times we feel restricted. A lot of times we don't believe a lot of the things. For me, one of the biggest things for me was when I was a Christian. I'm a big proponent when you leave your religion, when you start this process and you leave it for 1 year at least, just 1 year, leave it and go searching for what it is that you believe. Because my problem was I was a Christian, and my biggest problem was that I could not bring to myself to believe that homosexuality was an abomination. It was very difficult for me. Because I just don't believe that God will have so many people beyond this in this world and struggle with this and not bring down help if it wasn't something that they were just born to be. I don't believe that you choose to be gay. I don't believe, just like we don't choose to be straight. I just don't believe that. So for Christianity, one of the biggest pillars is that homosexuality is an abomination. I don't believe that. And I'm somebody who doesn't compromise. So if I don't believe in that, then that means that I can't be a Christian. So this is why I left Christianity. Not because Christianity is wrong, only because their pillars of beliefs do not fit mine. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't fit mine, I cannot be a part. And it's really that simple. I had a lot of animosity and a lot of hate, but that was when I really didn't truly understand what it was that I was doing. I was still in a lot of pain. I was still hurt, and I still didn't like, you know, being judged all the time and everything like. But I grew out of that phase, and I realized that they are searching for the same things that everybody else is. So I can respect Christianity as a religion, as any other religion that is out there. So when I found that I couldn't compromise believing that homosexuality was something that you were born, and it wasn't something that you were going to get damned for, and I realized that I had to leave Christianity. So this is what I charge you guys to do, and that's to really clear your slate. And if you had to build your own religion of beliefs, I want you to write down on a piece of paper, if you had to build your own set of beliefs where you felt instinctually was right and moral, what would those things be? And I want you to write those things on a piece of paper, and then I want you to evaluate whether they fit in to your current situation or not. And you have to be willing to tell yourself the truth. You cannot go into this saying, oh God, I can't write these things because if I do, I might get punished in the afterlife. This is why I'm saying you have to leave your religion, not God, religion. You have to leave that doctrine behind, because if you don't, you will never truly know what you believe. I want to know what you believe, not what you've been taught and not what your religion says. I want to know what truly deep down in your heart, what you believe. And this is what I did. I know that I literally went from Christianity to Islam to Buddhism, to Wicca, to I even did Satanism for a little spit of time. And again, like I said, I don't judge anything until I've researched it and I have literally put my twist on it. I cannot judge something that I don't know. So before anybody goes, oh gosh, she done went into Satanism, read about it, because it's nothing like what the world says it is. Christianity makes witchcraft and Satanism one thing, and Islam makes it another thing. But when you really look at it, it's completely the opposite. There's a lot of misinformation and a lot of judgment and a lot of lies out there about many religions. I remember there were so many things that I didn't know about Islam until I studied it myself. We have to learn to make our own decisions, to think for ourselves. We cannot think how our pastor thinks. We have our own minds, we have our own judgments, we have our own ways of thinking and doing things. And this is what I'm trying to get people to understand, is that it's time for us to think for ourselves. It's time for us to figure out what it is that I believe. I don't want to know what mommy believes. I don't want to know what daddy believes. I don't want to know what your uncle believes. I want to know deep down inside your heart, if you were by yourself and nobody would know, what it is that you believe. Okay, I really want you guys to write some of these things down in the comment box and tell me some things that you might agree with or disagree with within your own religious organization. And like I said, this is completely interfaith. It doesn't matter what religion you are, doesn't matter what part of anything. If you're Catholic, write about it. If you tell me about it, I really want to know, because a lot of people are struggling with this. A lot of people are having trouble reconciling their own beliefs with the beliefs of the religion that they were brought up in. And I want to let you guys know that it is okay for you to have your own beliefs. There is nobody on this earth that can judge you for what you believe, because at the end of the day, it's what you believe. But if you continue to walk down a spiritual path that is not in line with the things that you believe, your spirit will continually be in torment. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for your family. And I definitely don't want that for your children to come. Because again, we want to break the cycle of people just following blindly and doing things that they have been taught to do. And it's become so programmed that they can't differentiate between what they believe and what they have been conditioned to do and act. So that's your challenge. I want you to write in the comment box. I want you to go to bitchmagic.com. Let me tell you a little bit about bitchmagic.com. Bitchmagic.com is basically like a safe haven. I talk about just about anything, as real as possible as I can do. I'll talk about any religion, any situation. Some of the things that I do, I like to meditate, I like to light candles, I like to light incense, I like to chant, I like to do so many things that help me spiritually. And but I don't leave out anything that doesn't make me unhappy. I'm not a Christian, but I will listen to gospel music all day long. You know why? Because it makes me happy. I like how I feel when I listen to gospel music. I understand the message. I understand who Jesus is. I understand what the Bible, what its message is. I understand it. But it doesn't mean that I'm a Christian. I'm still not a Christian. You know what I mean? In the sense of the doctrinization of what a Christian is. Now, if I had to, to say if I wanted to be Christ-like, yes. Christ is an excellent example, to live by. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that he put in our path is some things that are highly unobtainable. So it made me feel depressed. Being a Christian, I just could not get out of the funk, because I never felt that I was going to be able to obtain the purity that was expected of me. So But again, that wasn't my belief. This was something that was being forced on me, and trying to live up to those expectations was something that to me was just too painful, and it didn't make me feel good. It just didn't make me feel happy. So I took the things out that I didn't like, and I put in the things that I did. You know, we all have an instinctual morality. We all know right from wrong. We all know what's, you know, a good thing to do, what's a bad thing to do. I don't really think that us concentrating on every single thing is going to be productive, because what it does, it fractures your brain. And a lot of people experience this. It fractures your brain because your mind and your spirit are instinctually trying to do this, but then you read something and you're conditioned over here to do something completely different. And it's not about shutting out, because a lot of the Western religions and a lot of the organized religions, they focus on the death of the ego, basically getting rid of everything that book or that religion says is impure. And let me tell you something, guys, it's not going anywhere. We are human. We make mistakes. We get angry. We get jealous. We get envious. And to constantly be beating yourself up for having these feelings is a problem. Because all it does is you're putting yourself down, and you don't really learn to love yourself. I'm going to get on the next video. Sorry guys, I scatter all over the place, okay? So this will happen. I was talking about bitchmagic.com. Bitchmagic.com is my blog. www.bitchmagic, M-A-G-I-K, that's with a K.com. I want you guys to go there, comment. I want you guys to look at some of the posts that I have. I have a post on a meditation that helps with conquering jealousy. I was having a problem with jealousy. Yeah, I was. And I had to figure out how to deal with it. You know, I didn't tell myself that I was going to hell because I was jealous, but I said that this isn't something that I like to feel. So I needed to figure out something to do to make sure that I didn't feel this pain, nor did I let it fester and have it become something that was unhealthy for me. So I came up with this meditation, that will help you conquer jealousy. So go over to bitchmagic.com. Please subscribe. I have a Facebook page for Lady Sidonia. It's at Lady Sidonia. Go check it out, like it. And I have a Twitter page also. I haven't really been that busy on my Twitter page, but I'll figure it out. But yeah, again, your assignment is to write down all the things that you believe. All the things that if you were in a quiet room and nobody would ever know that you believe, that you truly believe. Something that you could never compromise. I could never compromise the belief that homosexuality is a part of human nature. That's something that I could never compromise. No matter what people say to me, no matter what happens to me, no matter what I read, no matter what, nothing could ever influence that belief. That's because it is my belief. It is not something I learned. It's a belief. You might not believe that, and that's okay. That's not for me to, to judge. It's just whatever your belief is. And you have to be willing to tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth. It doesn't matter if you've been a bigot your whole entire life, but secretly you really love the people that you've been mean to, or you really don't have a problem with this particular avenue of society. This is where you get real and 100 with yourself. It's the only way that you will be able to find spiritual peace, okay? So start out with that. I will have another video coming up soon. I really enjoyed talking to you guys today. Again, make sure you do your assignment, comment on the video, go to bitchmagic.com, and I will talk to you soon, all right? Bye-bye.